the fifth Sunday of Lent. Last Sunday, Jesus told the little story, parable, to the customary elders and Pharisees about the prodigal father and the ne'er-do-well son and the self-righteous older son. Well, Jesus, almost any time Jesus is going to do something good, the Pharisees are there. So today we have the Pharisees brought an adulterous woman into the presence of Jesus. I am moved to say something about going through, next Sunday is Palm Sunday, then Holy Week. The Pharisees and elders were very religious in one way. They did not want anything new coming in to what was religious. And Jesus comes to upset them. And we will see how Jesus continues to upset them, and they plan to join with the Romans. Be careful in saying Jews bad. No, in a way, in politically, we don't say conservatives are bad. They are motivated. They embrace tightly traditions, and the Pharisees were very conservative. Conservative really means preserving. They're preservatives in a way. And Jesus comes, and we're going to see it in today's gospel, as the first says in the first reading, "Behold, I'm doing a new thing." We don't like new things. They're inconvenient. They're disturbing. Jesus is something new, different, challenging. But it's good to remember that the Jews were very religious and still are. I needed to say that because sometimes when you hear about the Jews, we used to call them infidious in Good Friday. So Jesus is presented with an old case, an adulterous woman, and excuse me. It's interesting that twice Jesus writes in the earth. What is he writing? And that's a lot of people have spent a lot of ink figuring out what he wrote. I think he was writing because his humanity was of the earth. And this adulterous woman is, according to the old law, worthy of being stoned. And the preservatives, the righteous, want her to be stoned, according to the law. Jesus is doing something new, has been doing something new. We've been watching him all during Lent, believing in himself and defining himself as different. So, one place I think, to pray is, he says the neat thing, those who have never sinned, they can throw the first stone. So each other knows that they have probably committed adultery themselves. And of course the question is, why didn't they bring the man who was having an adulterous relationship with her? Well, that's another question. But in some ways it's not important, because it's this woman who has been convicted, found in the very act of adultery. But everybody goes. And Jesus says, where did everybody go? And they said, they're not here. I'm here, he says, and I am new for you. forgiveness is not a judicial thing. Mercy is not judicial. Mercy is relational and raises her up. Get up and go. But don't sin again, not in adultery, but don't hold your past against yourself now. I am giving you a new life. I am giving you, and Jesus always did this, I am creating you. You are new now. But you will remember the old, and you will doubt and fuss. But I'm saying, sin no more, Jesus says. Sin no more. Against yourself. I am giving you a new way of looking at yourself. I am creating you, not according to the law, but according to the relationship that I incarnate, that I inflesh, the life-giving, mysterious God. And I have come to encounter your mystery. And can you live it? All the sacraments, and especially the sacrament of reconciliation, all the sacraments are for the future. Don't sin against yourself, he says to her. And in the sacrament of confession, don't sin against yourself by letting the evil spirit say, aha, Jesus didn't forgive you. You didn't say it all. You weren't really sorry. Remember last week? How sorry do you have to be? No, you have to be honest. They brought her in their dishonesty. Jesus meets her in his honesty. Well, that's what we're called to during these holy days of Lent, to pray with and perhaps go to the sacrament more about the future. And he has encouraged this woman, don't keep drawing up your past. I am forgiving you for your past. Now, go and sin no more against yourself and sin no more against my forgiveness of you. So in another way, it's the same prodigal father. The worst was a prostitute woman. Couldn't be anything worse. Jesus meets the worst in us, what we say is the worst, and says, don't sin against yourself. You were meant to be a sacrament yourself. Live it. Go and live. And don't work to destroy or bring down, but encourage. That's the sacraments. And that's what today's gospel and first reading is. Behold, I'm doing a new thing for you. Let it be new.